What's up, guys? Welcome to Life Equals Episode 2, Life Equals Sports. I just want to talk about sports and how they help me in my life. Cue the intro. All right, so like I said, this is Life Equals Episode 2. We're going to talk about sports this time. It's Life Equals Sports. I'll explain, obviously. Like I said, Life Equals, it's just videos about kind of like, honestly, therapy for me. And I like it when you guys listen, that way also I can quit my job and just do YouTube. So help me out. Where to begin? So when I was a kid, I was very, very, very sick all the time. I was a newborn. I think my mom says I was like maybe 3 months old. So I don't know, maybe not a newborn, but close. And my lung collapsed and I was in the hospital for like a week. And they found out I had asthma then. And then, so ever since, at that point, I couldn't do a lot of stuff that all my friends could do as much. Like I couldn't, go run everywhere like they could because I had to breathe. I had to take breaks. And also my mom was pretty scared, so she didn't let me outside as much. And I played t-ball for a little bit when I was a kid. That was the only really physical thing that I was able to do because my parents were too scared. I played outside with my friends, but it wasn't like anything crazy until I'd say about maybe 10. 10, I started to, I still had panic attacks. God, well, I had those too, but asthma attacks like all the time, but I don't have them anymore as much. It's been quite a while. Until, I haven't had a panic attack. Golly, I've had an asthma attack in almost a year now. But it was like 3 or 4 times a year, sometimes twice a week even. So we go, like I said, I'm 10 and my parents decided to put me in Boy Scouts. I know, Boy Scouts. And I started out as like a Cub Scout or something like that. And then I did it for a couple years and I got to Wee Blow was after Cub. Yes, I swear. And then it was We Blow 2. And you wonder why they are getting sued for all the sexual harassment and stuff. And actual sexual misconduct. But none of that happened to me, just saying. But it's crazy, the names of these things. And I started doing physical stuff, started going camping. I learned how to tie a couple knots. I don't remember anything pretty much from there, except for I was pretty damn good at archery. And I remember that. And we got, for like these little belt loops, we got... if you did these things, right? I don't know I think they're called like chits. And I remember I started playing sports in Boy Scouts. I started liking them. Ultimate Frisbee was one of the first ones I remember. It was really fun. Never played it before. Fell in love with it. I love it. Didn't have much chance to play it until, in my entire life, obviously, before that. And then after, we other than Boy Scouts, I really didn't play Ultimate Frisbee except for a couple times in high school until last year, 2020 and 2019, 2020, when I was teaching, I started Ultimate Frisbee Club, and it was because I just missed it, and I had a lot of students in it. It was a lot of fun, and then we did flag football, and that was it for me. Like that was the day I realized that I loved football. I think I was probably like 10 or 11, like I said, and my dad, he was a Jags fan already, and at this time, we went to some of their early playoff games. We went to a bunch of their games in the late 90s, early 2000s. He still has the original logo on like a windbreaker. It's pretty cool. And he was also a Gator fan, and so I did not adopt the Jags, thank God, but I adopted the Gators and ended up graduating from there. Before that point, I watched football every once in a while. I didn't really understand it, but I watched it with my parents and my older brothers. But like, even though they were fans, I was the only one that other than my oldest brother, who really, really loved sports and really, like, we could name all the players, and we could tell you what plays they're running. We could tell you the types of defenses and everything, and it was mainly football. Like I said, I love basketball too. Couldn't get into baseball. I played it a little bit. I couldn't get into it, and football was the one though. And my first Super Bowl I watched, so my parents let me stay up all night and watch, was the Rams Super Bowl, where we won. We beat the Tennessee Titans, and that's the team I picked. I picked the Rams, and whenever I picked the Rams, we won that Super Bowl, so I picked them. And then after that, it just started from there. Like I said, again, barely really watched it, but Marshall Faulk's been my favorite player ever since then. And then I've always been a big running back guy. Like, I loved Marshall Faulk. I was obsessed with Steven Jackson, because that's when I was really into footballs, back when he was in his prime. And then, sorry, I gotta change my headset out. It died. But like I said, we started watching football for real around 10 and 11. And I kept the teams that I picked from when I was a kid. We sucked, by the way, the Rams, really bad. And if it isn't obvious, then we go to junior high, because I was a bigger kid already. I was heavy my whole life. Asthma, and for those of you who don't know this, when you have really bad asthma, you have to take steroids a lot. And steroids, if you don't get to work out, they make you eat a lot and gain weight, because they're meant to build stuff. So like I said, I was pretty large, and I couldn't fit into any of the weight classes for kids my age. I would have been playing with 15-year-olds when I wanted to play football. So I played a little bit of flag football here and there. And again, back to the steroids thing, it's not fun, because you want to go do stuff because you're all like pumped up and stuff, because it really does do that, and then you can't because you're sick. And something crazy that I'm going to show you guys in a second is that what it does to your nipples, and I still have it because I've taken steroids so much in my life. So yeah, I don't know if you can see that, guys, but I got a really weird puffy nipple. So, and both of them. And so finally we get to junior high, and there's no weight classes anymore, so I get to play. And we played 7th grade. We played. I played spring. I didn't start fall because I was like, I didn't know if I wanted to or not. 7th grade, I liked it a lot. And spring, and at this point, I was obsessed with football. I was watching NFL Network 24/7 almost, and I was watching college football. I was watching everything, even some high school football games. It was crazy. And then we get to 8th grade summer, and I go out there. I play all of 8th grade. We sucked. Then 9th grade comes, and I try out for the high school team, and I made it. We sucked so bad again. Met a lot of good friends though that I've kept for life in football. Some of my best friends, some of my other best friends I met them in school, and we, like I said, it just feels like, to me, the whole point of like this episode is like that sports honestly saved my life, because for those of you who don't know, when you have asthma, you can't do a lot if it's really severe like mine was. But one of the ways to get through it is to not only like lose weight, obviously, which is hard whenever you're on steroids all the time, but to make your lungs stronger. And what's a way to make your lungs stronger? Sports. So not only was I playing football for the school, for high school and junior high before that, I was outside every day playing football with my friends. Literally every day. We got home from school, and even after practice and whenever it was daylight longer, we got home from school and we played football until it was dark, or we got yelled at to come inside. And it helped me a lot, because from 14 to 18, I think I had maybe 2 asthma attacks total. And I have little coughs here and there, and I got sick. I'm not including like getting sick, but like just actual asthma attacks out of nowhere where I had to freak out and, go to the hospital and all that too. And that's when I was a kid, I'm telling you, I was in there like every other week almost, and always on steroids. I barely took steroids in high school. It was good. It was a good Sorry, guys, I had some technical difficulties. So, like I was saying, honestly, sports saved my life. It made me get my lungs better, and it, it gave me something to believe in. And I'll explain that in a second. So, I just think everyone should at least play one sport in their life, even if it's esports or something. Competitively play something, even chess, anything, because you just get so much from it, especially a team sport, which you don't have to play a team sport, but especially a team sport, that camaraderie, the discipline, the need for winning, I think is honestly important. I know it sounds weird, but I just feel it. And again, even esports count, just do something, and I also think you should follow a team. It doesn't have to be football, or a person. It doesn't have to be football, it doesn't have to be basketball. Just follow a team, and you'll get that feeling that I've gotten. There's times where my team, especially the Rams, because they were really bad whenever I was in, for a long time, actually. They just recently got good. They were really bad for most of my life. They were really good, then they got really bad for a long time. And even them really bad, I like the feeling. I feel like it's important to have that feeling of like, you feel like you could die for this team, and like when they lose, you lost. You feel it. You can cry. You can get angry. Like, it's just, you feel it so much. Like, and we play again. I'm filming this the day before the NFC Championship game. We play tomorrow, and I'm sure I'm going to be screaming at the TV, good or bad. And I just think that is important. That almost camaraderie feeling you get from even just being a fan of a sport, like, because not everyone can play sports. Clearly, just do something, even if it's just watching. I think sports are so important to this world. I think they're so important to our species as a human, because even if you're isolated because of issues that you have, what's a way to get out is sports. You watch and you see the world, people interact. You can play, like, especially esports, or I don't know. I just feel very passionate about this, if you can't tell. It's just, sports have not only saved me literally when it comes to asthma, they've also, they've saved me figuratively and mentally and everything. There's times where I've just been in a really shitty mood, and one of my sports teams, which will win, which my sports teams, by the way, are the Florida Gators. Like I said, I graduated from there. Rams, Orlando Magic. Those are the main sports I watch. I kind of watch baseball, so the Cubs. I don't really watch soccer much. I do a little bit, and I'm trying to get into hockey. So, comment a team that you want me to try for hockey. I've been watching it. I haven't really picked a team yet. I kind of like Lightning, but I don't want to pick the best team. I don't know. Maybe I will. We'll see. But yeah, I don't know. Just try it for me. Do me a favor and just go out there and do something. You'll feel it, what I'm talking about. I feel very strongly, like, when me and my wife have children, we've always said, like, oh, we're not going to force him to play football. And I'm not. I really, really hope he does, but I'm going to force him to do something. Even if it's just chess, like I said, it's a sport. It's hard. That competitive feeling, I think you need it to grow as a human. You need to lose also to grow as a human. And I feel like everyone needs it. So I'm definitely going to have to, if not, persuade him or her to try some kind of sport. I don't think I know there's negatives. Like, trust me, CTE, I get it, but I don't think I think the positives outweigh the negatives in most sports. And that, for me, just that feeling that I get and that I've had, I know how important it is, and you need it. It builds you. It makes you an adult, and whether you realize it or not, you need those feelings, those emotions, and those decisions even. But yeah, like I said, this one's going to be a little bit shorter. I just wanted to speak about something while it's relevant right now, Rams, NFC Championship tomorrow. This is episode 2 of Life Equals Sports. I'll catch you later. Don't forget, like, comment, subscribe. The Wheeze, McWheezy. Peace.